Bum, 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 bum. Hello, welcome. We are back once again. It's another week. For those of you who have not checked out my Not So Work streams, I did on Monday. This will be the normal schedule that I do on Twitch and YouTube. I'm Zod, and yeah, this week we were doing some more Pokemon stuff. I mean, last week we did an Umbreon, and we finished that, which is great. And I can probably show that on screens in a second. And then yeah, once that was done, I think there was a decision to maybe do a Typhlosion. Can't pronounce that Pokemon, but that'll be the next one to go for. So let me show you lovely guys or girls out there what we've did last week. Oh, if it loads up, there we go. There we go. That's what we did last time. And came out fairly well. So we're going to do a Typhlosion next. Before I do that, I'm just going to post in some channels that I'm streaming, and then we'll take it from there. Just going to copy some bits of URLs and just spam it. There we go. Always got this. There we go. And one in another channel that I'm in. Here we go. Yeah. And then also got to do Twitter and the usual other channels that I'm normally residing on social media. So these things I've got to do every time, and it's doesn't take too long. It doesn't take too long at all. These small little times just makes it a bit easier to. I've gotten a bit more efficient at doing this on a regular basis, so it's good. Let me go. Here we go. There we go. Save a few things there. There we go. Sweet. There we go. And oh. So normally I was hoping to do these sort of things outside the stream, but you know it's fun to do it here. Talk about rando things as well. So tomorrow I will be going into London. The company I work for are doing like a team lunch, so I thought I'll go and check it out. You know, since I've not actually hung out with my work colleagues, so it was optional. By means of, if you know, you can turn up if you want to. Nothing, you know, they won't hold it. They won't hold it against you if you don't go, because obviously, given what's been happening in the world, you know, you have to decide yourself whether it's good or not to go into London or go into populated areas whilst this COVID stuff is still happening. But I decided to go along because I've been in London a few times, and you know, even though the risk is there, I've had my first jab. It seems to be okay, but I'm still keeping my distance, and I still use, you know, plenty of like the sanitizing lotion and stuff like that to prevent any, you know, germs from spreading or anything like that, and obviously covering my mouth. You got to keep all these things covered at all times, and I'm always conscious about it. I've not really done anything which will, you know, risk me, you know, getting infected or anything like that. So I'm taking care of myself. So yeah, but I will be very cautious tomorrow. So that's going to be fun. Right, so I think that's everything updated in terms of posting where I'm going. Well, I'm online. I guess we can begin our painting session. So, Typhlosion. Let me close this Umbreon. So this is the draft we did. This is the draft. I'll leave it on there for the moment. So I'm going to find what this Typhlosion looks like. Oh, kind of Typhlosion. It's one hell of a name as well. I'm actually gonna call this group that, exactly that. So here we go. So it doesn't say what it's based on. It's just, let me see what is it based on. What is it based on? What is it actually based on? It's a badger-like Pokemon with bulky yet agile body, classified as a quadruped, but is capable of bipedal movement. It's frequently depicted standing on its hind legs. Okay, so it's a... yeah, okay. Interesting. Some people say it's a honey badger. Honey badger, the coloration kind of gives it away. I assume it's about an African mammal animals. So, this is interesting. Some say it's badger, so let me see. Let's look a closer look at this. Yeah. So it could be a badger. Someone's done like an overcolor of a badger and coloured it into blue and yellow. That's hilarious. So it's not a lizard. It's not a lizard from the looks of it. It's actually a third creature, right? It's a third creature of some sort that has fire coming up from its back. I think it's got little areas of fire, ejecting out. Okay, yeah. So when I first saw this, I thought it must be a lizard because it's got fire and stuff, and the way it's drawn, it looks like a lizard. But yeah, it's actually interesting. Interesting indeed. So let's start this off. And before I begin with anything, I'm just going to do a grid just to ensure that it's another portrait. There we go. So we hide that one. There we go. And we're going to move this palette across. So we just don't need that anymore. I used this for the studies I started, the head studies I did. And I haven't done those in a while, but I think after this one, next week I'll do more head and facial studies, I think, just to balance it all out, right? So this creature, let's just take some sketches, loose sketches, and get an idea of what this creature is, so we can get an idea, right? Interesting. So it's got like little arms as well, which short little arms. And it has this kind of hind legs encapsulated on itself, so yeah. I've got a sneeze coming up. Excuse me. Oh boy, that's a sneeze. Yeah. Oh, got another sneeze coming up. I sense another sneeze. So, okay. Let's spread his arms out. Let's spread his arms out because it just looks a bit too... I've got to turn on stream labels as well. Stream labels are a very important aspect of streaming on Twitch, especially because I always tend to forget what is happening on chat and stuff, and sometimes I lose the notifications because the notifications appear so quickly and disappear. You can't keep up with it, so got that running right now. And then, like, so behind this back, it's got some form of fiery kind of thing in the back, right? It's got some sort of fire at the back of it. So let's see how are these implemented? What is it? So okay, it's just below its arms. Let me just copy this into PureRef because I've got PureRef kind of open. I'm gonna put it into the EV one because yeah, the EV one's fine. Yeah, so like there's like up in there. So right now I'm just basically coming up with an ideas at the moment. So this is not the concrete pose, but just getting a feel of this Pokemon and see what I can get from it. So some say it's a badger. Let's see honey badger as well. Because some say honey badger. Let's look at honey badger. Because I did once make a honey badger portrait for someone, but I guess it could work as a honey badger. I mean, if I make a new layer here, and this is from the side view, so yeah. So be. Why is it so? Let's knock this up. There we go. Yeah, I guess it could work as a honey badger, right? Because like it's kind of got that kind of lightness to it, and the ears are like that. This doesn't have ears, or it does. Oh, she does have ears. Ears are more spiky, so maybe it's like these could be spiked ears, right? So this part, the part of the fire coming up its back, what is that? That's the interesting part. You see. What is the fire stuff? Where is that coming from? What does that represent? Yeah. Just giving the hind legs there. Yeah, I mean, this could work out as this kind of form, right? Honey badger fang, right? Maybe. So let's oh, hello. Why is there a gap here? I sense there's probably something here. We'll just erase that. Erase that too. Yeah, we go. That's more like it. So I want to try and find a rather dynamic pose, maybe of a honey badger. Because honey badger seems to be a better shot. Still standing. Honey badger standing up. Of course, they all look a bit. Yeah. Looking at what possibility. Oh, help. Oh, Rufio, if you're listening in, thanks. See if you're watching from the phone. Watching by phone. Cool. Yeah, just looking for some references for honey badger which could work, and I think I may have to use a combination of the honey badger form and what this Pokemon looks like, and then maybe bridge the two together. That's going to be the ideal way going forward from the looks of this. Just going back a bit more to looking at more of the reference of this creature. Interesting. So someone's done some comparisons of the imagery between like a real animal versus the actual Pokemon. So its original form, the starting form, is a hedgehog. Then it becomes a weasel, and then the final form being the badger. So it becomes a badger. So let's try and give it a more of a dynamic form pose here, because these things are nice. They're good. Maybe I'll try and make it more fun, right? So I'm going to try and look at the original honey badger form, and see if I can come up with something dynamic, so that can really, which works. So I'm just trying to ascertain a nice pose, something that's dynamic rather than bland. Because obviously, sometimes it's good to just go for it, right? Don't just settle for something safe, because safe poses tend to be bland and boring. So I'm always trying to go for something that can look good, right? So maybe like I'm trying to go for this like pose that could potentially look cool. Yeah. Still trying to go for that badgery look, but again, nose. This thing doesn't have quite a nose, so I'm still going to try and apply the badger kind of shaped head, but maybe then apply the original Pokemon kind of body to it. So that could potentially work too, right? That could work too. Because Typhlosion is just basically, just just a blubbery body. Oh, applied to it. Let's undo that again. There we go. Here we go. Yes. So I'm just thinking about the form here, messing around with it. At the same time, I want to try and I don't want to like. I want to make sure that it kind of resembles the creature, but not go away too far from the form, but still trying to, excuse me, keep the relevance of it. So I found some nice badger poses, so I'm going to put this onto my Pure F folder. I'm going to try and merge these in, try and include them with what I got, right? Let's see the reference, there we go. And let's just copy this across, because I've been currently just been, I've just been moving them from tab to tab on Chrome, and that's not really the ideal way. It's best to just put these all onto, put them all onto PureF. If you don't use PureF, you're a fool, right? You've got to use PureF. PureF is good. It saves so much time and increases productivity because everything's on one panel. You're not messing around trying to switch between Chrome windows and stuff. It's all there, you know, it's all there for you, and that's what you want, right? So it's good. Oh, I'm just messing around my brush size there. There you go. Just gonna sort this body shape out. I had this like kind of dynamic view I had. I was doing this. His ears are rather pointy, so that's another so his arms are rather, well they are, well, his arms are rather like little short nuggets of nuggety arms, but let's see what kind of form it's really got. Yeah, so it's got elbows as well, you know, maybe so it's got big arms, but then they become really short, so. It's got big arms, but then short, you know. Yeah. So I'm trying to make him as if standing on some sort of rock or something, some sort of pedestal. It could be something like that, which could work. All right. Let's look at his feet. So his feet are rather tiny little feet. It's got tiny. So it's got tiny feet. It's interesting. Interesting. So you go. like so. Tiny feet. So I'm looking at the video game reference here as well. Really, video game reference doesn't really emphasize much on its foot stuff, other than this big nugget of like just a nugget of like big chunky thingy foot here, right? That's all you see. So it has a what does it have? It's got like a tail thing where we won't see it from here, but maybe it's so looking back at that this jaw thing, what does it look like? Let's have a look. It's got a really small jaw, right? Well, short jaw. Maybe it's let's look at it again. Yes, I mean, even though this is like kind of like a badgery kind of head, we still want to try and include that kind of visual structure of the creature, of which is the Typhlosion. Still try and create that. So we're trying to do like, it's like fire. I've got fire in my grasps. So I'm gonna try and like so. Like so. This could be a rock or something. Right. Making that rock face up there. Like so. So this could work, right? Yeah, this could like potentially be a nice shot of a Typhlosion, yeah? Let me just minimize everything. Divine Arts, how's it going, man? Hello. I'm well, thank you. How are you? Got my coffee as well. Got my coffee. Oh. Oh. It's good coffee. It's good coffee. Doing good, just working away. Very nice. Yeah, what are you working on? Anything nice? Anything good? I thought I'd do another Pokemon because why not? Because why not? Your day job. Oh, yeah, you got to do your day job. My day job ended at around, what time is it now? It's 10:14 now. So like it ended at around about 5 o'clock. I actually left work on time for a change because I did most of my work. I did do most of the things I was doing for. Yeah, funny enough, a Flying Lung, who someone I know who's on my Discord, he recommended the Typhlosion. I didn't know what it was. When he said Typhlosion, I'm like, wait. He said it's a popular Pokemon. I'm like, I've never heard of it. I googled it, and there you go. So it's at first when I looked it up last week, when I was working on the Umbreon, I thought it was a lizard. It looks like a lizard. The way it looks from the games, from the TV shows, I thought it was a lizard, but it's not. Yeah, Gen 2 Charizard. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But really, it's not a lizard. You're surprised to know it's not a lizard. It's actually a third critter. It's actually, and some people say it's a honey badger. So I did like a honey badger version there, a really loose doodle of it. So I'm kind of trying to apply this honey badger kind of look to this one, and see how it looks. Then it being a lizard, so it's gonna be interesting to see how it turns out. But yeah, because like the ears, I mean, honey badgers have a round like a moon shaped thing going on. That yeah, but obviously a Typhlosion has more of a pointy ears, so I'll still keep the fuzzy ears like that. But we'll see, because I think if it's based off a badger, it'd be nice to maybe try and include that. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it belongs to. But yeah, it's a tricky one. It's Pokemon always tends to, I think that's the fantastic thing about it, right? It leaves you to the imagination, to your imagination, to what it should be. Because like, I mean, last week when I was working on the Umbreon, I hit a stump. I thought it was a feline or a fennec, but it's both. It's both. Facial features I did was of a what's it called, of a feline, but the tail end was more fox-like. So yeah, it's a tricky one. It was a very tricky one, so to say the least. So, but like that, that was fun, challenging but fun. So more of that would be great to do. But yeah, yeah. This one seems straightforward, but it's a good thing I did some research. And this creature in particular, if it's just a honey badger, that's fine. That's one thing to worry about. Whereas I think the EV stuff, it's a mishmash. There's a lot of things about it. But funny about this particular Pokemon, it's got three kinds of species it follows. The first one's a hedgehog, second's a weasel or stoat, at this two, and then this is a honey badger. So it's interesting to see its transition between the species. So it's interesting. Yeah, evolutions are crazy. Yes, they are. I thought all EVs were basically fennec. I was wrong. I was very wrong. I didn't realize that like all the different kinds of evolutions, aside from Flareon, and aside from Flareon, the rest are more feline like. Because look, the Vaporeon I did was very feline. E621, how's it going? What a title! What a title! How's it going? You got a paw there. I wish I could do emotes for Twitch. It will never happen, sadly. All my lovely all my little all my lovely stickers are on Picato, the potato ones. How did the Haunter turned out really well? I can show the Haunter if you want to see the Haunter. Just tuning in for a calm work stream. You've come to the right place. You've come to the right place to hang out with me, and we talk about random stuff aside from art. But art is usually the subject we talk about. And hello, Samurai Noodles. Right, Samurai Noodles. I'm just going to load up the Haunter so Divine Arts can see it. There we go. There's the one. This one went through a lot of changes near the end. I changed the layout again. Like, I wasn't happy with the horns and stuff, and yeah. So yeah, this is like my variation of it. Looks a bit scarier than like a normal Haunter, but it's all to do with your imagination. You should. I don't want to follow too much on what the original ones look like, as otherwise I might as well just basically draw the same thing. Where's the fun in that when you can just really push the boundaries a bit? When you push the boundaries, you have more fun because you got nothing holding you back. It's fine to do silly mistakes and whatnot, and it's all good. The moment you start making a fan piece for like, it's not fun. Ends up just being the same thing, right? You end up just drawing whatever's there. So yeah, for this one, yeah, as you can see, I'm making it look different a bit, you know, a bit more fun, dynamic as well. We're looking like we're kind of looking up towards it, kind of thing. So it should be interesting to do, right? I'm just checking the reference, just to make sure the height of this creature is all right as well. I don't want to make him too look. It looks right now. It looks a bit stubby because we're kind of looking at it from an angle. But I want to try and make sure that it's not the case, right? And I want to try and make sure there's a bone there as well. Seeing different interpretation of Pokemon is always fun. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I agree. I think that's what I like looking at. You know, when I look at fan art, I like to see different interpretations rather than just exactly what it is. Like, for example, like if everyone just copied Pikachu, sorry, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, Pikachu's iconic. You know, I guess you have to be really careful on how much you interpret. How much? Yeah, you have to be careful. You don't want to go overboard. You don't want to change it completely because then you're going to upset some people. You're going to upset some people. They're going to say, that's not Pikachu. That's just a rat you've just coloured in, right? So there has to be. You have to make really careful manipulations to make it work, right? That's why I think. I could be wrong, but agreed. Except in real life, Pinsir and Gredos look. Yes. See, there's a point you don't go beyond, which is like making things completely real. Because when you make things completely real, it goes to the uncanny valley. And I've seen some stuff that Pokemons which are real but just don't work, and it's just I don't think it'll ever work because like I've seen a Vaporeon in the shape of an otter, a real otter. It doesn't work. It didn't look appealing, and so you have to be really careful. I think, with Pokemon, it's one of, like, even with the film, we can take the film for example, the Detective Pikachu film. Even though it's realistic or kind of rendered realistic, it's still cute. It still looks nice. Yeah, it looks nice to look at. You don't want it to look in like an ugly thing, right? An ugly, it's a fun film. Yeah, I enjoyed it. You know, I don't care what people say. I watched it and I thought it was good. I can it's a film that I can watch again and not feel bad about watching it again. Like, there are some films I wouldn't watch again, but like Detective Pikachu is one of those films I can watch again and not feel like, it's another boring film. It's actually a good film. It's nice. Oh, the first, So the funny thing, you mentioned that, right? You mentioned that, Divine Arts. So the first Sonic film, the trailer of it looked awful. Fine, I'd be happy to pay to see how that film would have looked. You know, I'm sure they've got a reel of it somewhere hidden away, like a director's cut of the original version. It would be funny to see how bad it really looked in terms of, aside from the trailer, right? Because obviously they fixed it, right? Great. But I'm sure someone somewhere in the studio or whatever, they have that footage, that film in its original state before they made the changes. That'd be really interesting to watch. I'd probably crack. I'd probably enjoy watching it because it would just be funny and cringy at the same time. Detective Pikachu had me sweating with that end twist. Oh. I mean, I'll be honest. If Ryan Reynolds wasn't in the film, I think I wouldn't have given it that much enjoyment. I guess I would have enjoyed it, but having Ryan Reynolds in there made it more enjoyable, if that makes sense, because he's got some humour in it, and that's good. That's important. Yeah, when we wanted to see just like a Justice League. It's like an inverted Justice League, right? Inverted. Justice League came out and it was crap. No one liked it. I didn't like it. And then the Zack Snyder version came out, which is 6 hours long. I actually watched through it twice. Just to make sure that I'm like, what I thought of it. And it was actually it's pretty good, but it's long. But it ticks off the story as it should have been, and it makes more sense. And obviously Steppenwolf looks better in that film, and you do get to see Darkseid as well, which is really cool. which you don't really get to see in the original film cut. You don't see Darkseid. In fact, Darkseid is not even mentioned in it. I can't remember in that cut in that original version. But yeah, Darkseid wasn't there. But in this one, in the Snyder version, he's there. So it's But this is me talking from a DC, because I do like DC stuff. So yeah, I know. Yeah, it's been interesting to see. Okay, yeah, sorry. Before I'd not read that comment left by. I'm a bigger fan of DC than Marvel. Oh, that's fine. No, it's fine. I like both of them. I like them both equally. There's no. To be honest, I think it's a tricky question because I like there's shows I like about DC, and then there's shows I like about Marvel. But when it comes to TV shows, I don't watch much of Marvel. That's weird, isn't it? To say I watch more stuff of DC. Well, actually, no. I'll take it back. I enjoyed Marvel when Netflix had Daredevil, Luke Cage, and the Defenders. That was good, and the Punisher. Those were really, really good shows, and they got Disney took them away. They were really good. DC, on the other hand, I've not watched that many TV stuff because I used to watch The Flash, but then I think I watched about 3 seasons of it, and then I got bored of it because every story was the same kind of story where don't do this. There'll be a plot of like don't do this, or all hell's gonna break loose, and someone does it, and the whole thing happens all over again. So, but the characters do look cool in it. I'll hand it off to that. What I would like to see is a Green Lantern series again, because I don't know if you guys ever watched the Green Lantern the animated series. That was deep. It was a 3D show, and it got cancelled because I don't think it got cancelled, but the company that made the animation went bust. So obviously DC couldn't afford any more of it. I'm not sure what happened, but it was a really good series. They only made 2 seasons of it. If you ever do check it out. Do check it out on. I think it's 2 seasons, or I think they made 2 seasons. Yeah, do check it out. Green Lantern the animated series, really really good show. I wanted more of that. The movie sucked. Yes, actually, the movie killed the series. That's it. See, Samurai just triggered me there. It just triggered me. You triggered me, yeah. So what happened was, essentially the series was released, right? Animated series it's doing really well and everything, and then at the same time the movie was coming out. So they made a prequel movie to the prequel animated film to the movie, right? And they put all their money into that, and the prequel movie is decent. I think it was called, I don't know what it's called. I've forgotten the name of it. It was Green Lantern something. I think it was to do with the Manhunters. It was a Manhunters movie, and it leads up to the actual movie itself. And obviously the movie sucked. They were hoping that this build up was going to get them loads of money, and it didn't. And it collapsed on its arse, and that was it. And obviously because they had no budget left, the original animated series died. Same really. And the Green Lantern callbacks in Deadpool was yes. Deadpool's another great good. It'd be good to see a Deadpool series. That would be if Marvel decide to go down that route. I'm sure Ryan Reynolds is still doing. I'm sure he's still doing a few movies here and there, but I can, definitely he can probably be more inclined to doing like TV shows instead of movies, because we have Loki. Loki's actually pretty interesting. I've actually been watching Loki. I've watched the first 2 episodes. It's interesting. It's interesting to say the least. You have to like like talkie shows and stuff like that to enjoy it. And it's got some clips and reminders from the previous movies and stuff, the usual things, because obviously everything's interconnected. But yeah, it's good. It's good. I thought I'm enjoying it so far, but yeah, it's something to tie me over at the moment. I'm always finding shows that I'm watching, and that's tying me over. Another good series to watch, if you have not had time to watch it, or if you've not heard of it, is Sweet Tooth. That series is pretty deep. It's one of those post-apocalyptic kind of shows, but it's pretty grim as well. But I enjoyed the first season, and yeah, it's really good. It's a really good series. I'm not going to spoil anything about it, but I've been watching it for the story, and the story is really good, and it's got some good character building as well, because it's one of them sort of stories which it only focuses on a certain number of characters, and you're following them along, and the more you know about them, the more you get attached to them, which is like most stories go, right? Once you get attached to a certain number of characters, you want to make sure they're okay, and it's like you want to vouch for them, and it's good. I think that's a good start. It's kind of similar to Mandalorian, isn't it? Like Mandalorian. Well, Mandalorian's different. Mandalorian's in a different league, right? Because that had no dialogue for most of the series. Mandalorian didn't speak as much, and it had some good quotes as well. Oh, let me look at some reference. I'm going a bit off tangent here, but I'm not looking at the reference. There we go. Just looking at the reference. Oh. Okay, so this one's got big feet. Wait a minute. I like that. That direction. It made whatever he said that much more impactful. What's that in? Sorry, E621. What's that in relation to? Sorry, what was that in context to? Sorry. Oh, Mandalorian speaking. Right. Gotcha. I'll get you. There we go. You beat me to it. Gotcha. Yeah. Like a good comic, or film is where you don't need to say anything, and if the body language and the scene said it, you nailed it. Like it's like a silent movie. A silent movie tells you exactly what's going on. A good silent movie, like for example, Laurel and Hardy. When they did silent movies, or even Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin's a perfect example of, body language. Doesn't it's not talking, but you know what's happening. You know what's going on, and it's like, boom. The manga Blame is a good example of that. Blame. I like that name, Blame. But yeah. Bear with me. I'm just checking on the reference again on this creature's foot. Okay. So you know what? I'm not going to increase the height a bit on this, just a tad bit. There we go. Just to make it a bit more. There we go. Beastly. There we go. Yeah, so I've kind of watched most TV shows like now, and I don't know what, not TV. I shouldn't be saying TV shows. They're not even TV shows anymore. We live in a society now when we don't really bother with TV. We've got a TV downstairs. My parents watch stuff on there. We don't watch anything on. Well, they watch their stuff like news and stuff, but I don't really watch anything on there. Everything now is online. I should say online shows, but like I'm always like second nature to say TV shows. They're not TV shows anymore. Multiple cap chapters with nothing around. Good story, good comic is about a good writing, or drawing a good comic is also about not using dialogue to tell to say what's going on. And if you're not doing that, if it's told in a way where you don't need to say anything, you've nailed it. That'll be considered a good panel, a good form of flow of story, and without using dialogue. it's how it's done. That's just one of the things you learn when drawing comics. Like, you shouldn't need to explain in a dialogue bubble or something just to show what you're doing, what the character's doing. It should just be, the panel should show it, right? That's pretty much it. Okay, let's look at this hind leg. So I'm kind of just winging this up here in terms of form. I'm just adding lumps here, but lumps should actually represent structure. So I'm just going to quickly check on the hind leg structure for this particular Typhlosion. Just going to merge that. There we go. There we go, like so. Like so. That's good. Good. Where's his hind legs? Where's his hind legs? Hind legs are important, yo. So, I mean, I can get away with just doing like just tumor legs like that, but then it just doesn't show anything underneath, and I'm a bit conscious about doing things like that. All right, let's look at honey badger anatomy. That's the way to do it. Honey badger anatomy. There we go. That's the order. So hips there. That'll cut in a bit more, see. Yeah, so like, this is why you know, getting the forms right is very important here, because otherwise, winging it is bad. See. I don't like winging it as much as I'd love to wing it, but gotta lead by example, right? Gotta lead by example about these things. Let's do it properly, actually. Goes down that way. There we go. That's better. So I'm just gonna. There we go. So. So this will be like a bit of muscle, like. So tough legs, strong legs, strong legs. That's what it's about. This is a beastie little fellow or big fellow with strong legs. This version looks very regal. Regal indeed, regal. Regal. Oh. Yeah, I like to. The thing is, like when I mean, I could have just gone with the rounded thing like that, but then, when it comes to painting it, I get confused because I don't know where to apply the structure, if that makes sense. Like, when light's going to hit this, if it's just a blob, how it makes I struggle. I sometimes struggle knowing where the light should hit. You know, if light's coming from above, right? Then having this kind of structure there, then you can kind of plan. Well, you know, it's going to hit there, this top part here, and maybe some parts on the side here, right? Because like this is where the cut is. This is where the bone. You know, this is like the high, up the thigh, right? And then this is the lower part. But like if it was just a blobby blob, it would just be this blob here, right? And just doesn't it would look a bit flat, you know, a bit flat and boring, wouldn't it? That's just me. And then yeah, I like to think having a bit of structure there just adds a bit more adds a bit more interest to it. It gives it a bit more definition as well. You can have fun with doing definitions on creatures like this. Jawline, it's but like, yeah, by no means what I'm doing should be considered the right way. How far do you think you're going to push this one today? I'm gonna, well, what time is it now? Hang on, let me just see. Well, I've been streaming for 58 minutes, so I want to try and block this in, so I get the draft sealed and dealed, and then tomorrow I can then paint it out, and hopefully tomorrow it should be done for tomorrow, right? That's the general idea of these things, isn't there? Like block it in today, or maybe block it in today and maybe start on it. But the thing is, I've not reached the point of knowing what colours to use either. But I think the same palette as the Flareon one might be good as well for this. Again, the Flareon one was going like a kind of fiery. This could be used again. This kind of value. So, because this will emphasize more on the fire, right? So if there you go, just fill it all in there. Aelfie Zebra, how's it going? Hey, good evening. How are you today? I'm well, thank you. I've got my coffee. Right here. I actually put some sugar in just now because I've like, normally when I go to Cafe Nero's, I had this in my pocket. I had two of these in my pocket and I forgot to use them. So when I got home, I was like, what's in my pocket? What's this rattling in my pocket? And I realised I had two sugars which I didn't bother using, so I'm using them on my coffee. Well, I've used one of them. I might use the other one tomorrow. I never usually keep sachets of coffee, sachets of sugar in my pocket, but that was like a one-off. I found a bunch of KFC. Oh, pepper. Yeah, I used to keep the peppers as well. I never used to chuck away the peppers. I keep those peppers in case I need it to season something I've got in front of me, like Nando's or something. You know, because Nando's, you know, sometimes a bit of pepper on your chips or on your pita bread, delicious pita bread. It's so important. You know, seasoning is very important these days. And then like, you gotta learn to appreciate, to keep those delicious things in yourself. You know, in yourself. I used to keep. I don't have it. Well, actually, I do actually. So this is like Japanese chili powder. It's like a mixture of herbs and a mixture of chilies in there. Like you normally put this on your sushi, I think. Not sushi. It might be a ramen. I had a bottle of this. I normally put this on my stews. I make very, very handy, very fiery. As you can see, it's nearly finished. I need to make use of that. I need to like probably use it on something, some stew or something. So I used to keep a bunch of hot sauces at my table, near my computer. As weird as it sounds, because I normally have my food here whilst watching movies and stuff. But I've kind of running low on it, especially Tabasco. I used to have Tabasco, but then I stopped having Tabasco. So yeah, I'm running low on all sorts of stuff. So I might have to restock on these little things. I used to have snacks here. All the snacks are gone because I'm trying to be good to myself by not snacking on things, because you know, snacking is bad as well. You know, I used to obliterate like cashew nuts, peanuts, you know, dry salted peanuts. I would keep a bag of dry salted peanuts, like 400 grams. And the thing about peanuts is because it's protein, and it suppresses the hunger, right? Because protein is the first thing the body tends to look for, right? It's like it's hungry, it needs something to eat. So having a couple of peanuts just ties you over, and it fulfills that urge. But obviously, you can get carried away. And normally, with me, like if it like last night, I was watching short horror films, which I'll get to in a minute. But normally, when I'm watching films and stuff, like during the early hours, some peanuts, chewing on peanuts or something, is always comforting, right? You gotta snack on something if you're watching a film or something, right? So you gotta stuff your face with it. Jerky is good as well. Yeah. Jerky is another form of good protein. Yeah. You can nom on that. Yeah. I've not had jerky in a while. But yeah, jerky is good stuff. Yeah. But any form of snack, it's not on my table anymore. I don't have any snacks here, so I have to deal with it. No snacks. That's good because I don't want to grow another chin. I've got like I don't have a third chin yet. I've seen people at my age, they're like, they've got 3 chins, and it reminds me, like, I've got to be careful, got to be good to myself, and I don't want to be one of those people that has an extra chin growing under their face. You got to be careful. Yeah. Having snacks is irritating, but it is a good decision. Yes. I have these dry seaweed. See, seaweed strips sounds nice. Yeah. Another thing you can eat, and I think this is fine as well, is popcorn. Popcorn is fine as well. Not sugared popcorn or seasoned. Just get some popcorn. Put it in the microwave. In fact, you can probably put some chili. As I've got here, some chili or paprika popcorn. I might do that next time. Because popcorn is another form of. It's okay to eat, but obviously it's just nothing. You're eating nothing but fluffy air, right? But yeah, that does sound nice with the seaweed stuff. I've not had. I used to enjoy, like, in Chinese restaurants, you can get like this deep fried seaweed. Oh my god, it's like it's just, you can just munch it down. It's crunchy. I can't explain it. Deep fried seaweed is just moorishly delicious. I cannot explain how nice it is. Oh man, I can just obliterate that stuff. It's so good. Oh yeah, so. Paprika has become a big player in our food. Yeah, paprika is like the perfect kind of addition to any kind of like seasoning, just to put on it. Even when I have scrambled eggs, I just sprinkle like a good helping of paprika on top. Have it with some ketchup. Put in a sandwich. That's all you need. Maybe if I'm really feeling adventurous, get some ham with scrambled egg and paprika, some ketchup. Oh man, excuse me, I've got itchy nose. Every time I stream, I get itchy nose. Excuse me. But yeah, it's fantastic stuff. Right, Pokemon blue, dark blue. So it's let me see. Is it green? Let me just get the colours. Let's get a quick colour of this. Okay. Let me just double check what the Google Pokemon Wiki says about this particular kind of. Wait a moment. Ketchup on eggs? Yeah, you can have ketchup on scrambled eggs. Great Basin Coyote. Yes, you can. Scrambled eggs with some paprika. I do like ketchup with my egg, or sometimes barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce is another nice addition, but that's just like I need to have condiments with it. I can't eat something without condiments. Yeah, ketchup or egg, or if you want chili ketchup, get some chili powder, mix it with the ketchup. Just gives it a little bit of a kick. It's very nice. It's very nice indeed. Dark blue green. Okay, so some says dark green blue. So that's not really a good answer, but I guess this is just kind of a in between here. Dark green blue doesn't mean anything, but there you go. That'll do. So I'm just gonna block this shape in first before we commit to it. Oh, the travesty! I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, hang on. Oh, barbecue sauce is good as well, but I usually add it on the eggs while scrambling. You add it in the eggs while scrambling? Oh, that's... okay. Won't the barbecue sauce get like sticky? Because obviously it's got sugar in it, right? And sugar will tend to, when you heat it up, it will caramelize. Is that right? Huh. Worcestershire sauce is fine. Yeah, Worcester sauce is great with putting it on putting it onto your food that you cook. Depends on how much you use. All right, yeah. I'm visualizing you using a healthy amount, Samurai. That's why. Like, sod it. Just chuck the whole half of like a blubbery mass in it. Bloop. But no, it's. I'm sure it tastes. I'm sure it tastes good. I'm sure it tastes good. Mm. Yeah, barbecue sauce. I've started to like for a while. I have been enjoying things with barbecue sauce on. Yeah, so you're not the only one. The only thing I don't enjoy barbecue sauce on, is on pizza. Like for example, barbecue chicken pizza. I have barbecue sauce with the pizza, but I won't have it on the pizza, if that makes sense, because it just makes it too sweet. I recently found that smoked salt, and dang, it's amazing. Yes, I think I've seen smoked salt before in the supermarket. If it sounds good, I may give it a try. I've been using sea salt and ground pepper, like the ones you get the grinder, the pepper grinder stuff. Wow, that stuff is amazing. Like my mum tends to use normal pepper, just finely ground pepper. But like ever since I introduced her to crushed pepper, that's it. That is it. We just use crushed pepper now for everything. It's like, yep. But I mean, of course, now and then she does use the normal pepper for curries and stuff like that to spice it up. But yeah, crushed pepper takes things to a whole new level, and on eggs as well. I've been taking a liking to fried eggs with habanero infused syrup. Ooh, man, Samurai, you are living the adventurous world here of trying different things. You are there. Yeah. Which is badass. Okay, let's get the our lovely face in here. I'm trying to drink ginger habanero cider. Oh my god, ginger habanero cider. See, like in the UK, we don't have anything like that, and you guys in America get all the good stuff, Ginger habanero cider. That sounds. To be honest, I wouldn't drink that in the summer. That sounds like a winter cider, right? That's a wintry cider drink, because ginger itself is spicy. It's good. It's a spice taste, which is great. And then, but the chili, oof, that I don't know if I want to drink that in the summertime. That will definitely be something to warm you up, like a warmthy drink, right? Yeah. Maybe just heat it up a bit. Just gonna fill out the foot there, because that foot is. There we go. Yeah, even it's a cool drink, cool evening drink. Yeah. I don't think I could drink it like on a warm, hot, humid day. Like, oh yeah, I could do with some ginger and habanero cider. Woo. But no, it sounds interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting concoction. Had some cherry chipotle meat not long ago. Okay, some strange concoctions there. Gotta say, they're strange concoctions. Ooh. So, from spicy foods to condiments, I was talking about horror films. So, recently, just I think since this Sunday, I've been watching a host of horror films on my Discord server. From on YouTube, they're all on YouTube, and yeah, that's been the evening entertainment, so to say. Yeah, it's been interesting to see some of these short horror films made by studios on YouTube, and they're really good. Like 10 minute, they're like short 10-minute horror stories. Some are a bit longer. I think I've kind of gone through all the short ones. I think we're on our way towards the slightly longer ones, which are like 30 minutes or 20 minutes or so. And yeah, like they have been spooky, and the special effects are great. And it doesn't. And even though the effects are not grade A quality, it's enough to add that chill. That, like, oh boy, that's like, oh, that's scary. You know, that's an interesting twist. You know, yeah, great stuff. If yeah, horror films. Cannot express how cool you know, people that post that share videos on there, you know, it just shows that, you know, don't need to be a pro filmmaker, but like you can make something that's good, and it's incredible. Should watch Love, Death and Robots. Yes, I still need to watch that. Yes, yeah, I've not had time to really see. Every time I think about that show, I'm just drawn away by something else. I do need to make time for that. Samurai, I should probably watch it over the weekend. Maybe just smash through it. I have to be in the mood for that particular show. I think, like most things, like quite recently, I've just been in the mood of watching Randy's Kitchen Nightmares again. I went back to watching that again, and then yesterday I was watching The Net. Sandra Bullock, The Net. I don't know if you guys ever watched that film. It's a really good film about a woman whose identity gets like erased, and she gets framed. She gets put under a different alias because the system kind of labels her as someone else, as a wanted criminal, and she tries her best to try and get her life back, you know, get her name and identity back. It's a really good film. And then after that, I went on the following day afterwards. Which is today. Sorry, today I watched Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, Cinderella, and Sleeping Beauty. 3 prime Disney films. Don't ask me why I watched them, but the reason why you should ask me why I watched them. The reason why I watched them is because I never ever sat down to watch them properly. Ever since those films have been out, when I've been to my cousins or whatever, they would be watching it, and I sat through one of them, and I didn't watch through it. I did not watch through it properly. I was like, I kind of must have zoned out and not bothered with it because I thought these films were a bit silly. But I watched it for the main reason, and that is the quality of how Disney had animated stuff back then. Because the first movie was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and that was made in the 1931. That was made in 1931, I believe. You have to double check on that. And then the following films kind of progressed from there. I think Sleeping Beauty was the last. It was more recent of the 3 movies. So Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That's the first movie, and then it was Sleeping Beauty. Cinderella. Cinderella was the next one. I think that's like 1940. I think 1950 or something along those lines. I think, or I think it might be 1940. But like, yeah, they're like a film for its time. It's incredible, like the quality, and obviously they use rotoscoping. So again, like I was just fascinated because I've never watched any of those Disney films properly, and I had to like make sure I should make the effort of seeing it, and I did. And now I watched it, I feel satisfied. Did you ever get to finish Castlevania? Yes, I did. I smashed through it. I smashed. Yeah, I had to do it. I did it. It was worth it. Oh my god. I don't want to spoil it, but I could say it was good. It was good, very good. It is satisfying, yeah. Um, yeah, I'm not going to spoil or anything anything like that in case someone who may be watching who who hasn't seen it yet. And I feel bad to like blurt it out, but I can. Yeah, I was very impressed. Yeah, I'm looking forward to what happens next because, like, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not much of a I'm not much of a Castlevania player. You know, I've never played any of the Castlevania games other than, you know, I've seen them, I've been aware of them, but I never understood the story of it because people. I know I've known people that go on and on about Castlevania games. It's like, oh yeah, Castlevania, woo, you got to play that game, you know, and they hum the tracks like, and they'll say to me, oh yeah, this score from the game is iconic. You should know these things. I'm like, well, I don't, because I never played them. So yeah, like so for me, the series kind of covers what I need to know, you know, about Dracula, about, you know, his missus being executed by the puny humans, fanatical humans, and then obviously Dracula just goes nuts. He wants some vengeance. He wants some vengeance because of his death of his woman. So yeah, and then you have like Trevor Belmont, who just comes out from nowhere, who just becomes this like hilarious character that it adds a bit of balance. Because it's a serious animated series, but it's got that comedy part just to balance it out. Just a nice. I was really impressed with his no twos. Yeah. I do like a la carte. Is it a la carte? A la carte. It's not. That's not the name of a dish. Is it? What is his name? How do you pronounce it? A la carte. A la carte. Castle. Alucard. That's it. Alucard. That's it. Not a la carte. A la carte's like a menu, like a French dish menu. We're not a restaurant anymore. Yeah, the son of Frankenstein, isn't that? Son of Dracula, not Frankenstein. Son of Dracula. I'm losing all train of thought here at how much I appreciate the show. I'm glad I watched it, and it's good. I want more. That's the problem. Like any show, if it's done really well, I want more, and it's Dracula backwards. Oh damn! Oh, you just. I didn't know that. I looked at you what you said there, and I'm looking at it backwards. Okay, that is mind blown. There, I didn't know that. So Dracula wanted his son to have a backward name, or was that just? Wow. Wow. Seeing himself in a mirror. Oh, mate. I didn't know that. That is. So this character is in the game, is right. I don't know if any of you guys have played the game. I assume Alucard is in the game, right? I might have to like look for some speed runs or like playthroughs. Okay, good. I might have to just like take that step and check out the what's it called, the games of it, like, and see what it's all about, because it does look. I'm interested. Now I'm interested in it. Now I'm like, oof. So yeah, Castlevania, very good series. Oh, are you guys looking forward to the He-Man trailer? The He-Man series. Not, I was about to say the trailer's already out. He-Man Revelations. It looks very good. Apparently, there's an article out there which says that the She-Ra fans are a bit salty about it. But they're salty, I think, probably because the way it looks. In other words, it looks good. Because we had a conversation about this on Discord a few days ago about how bad Thundercats Raw was, right? We don't talk about that anymore. We don't talk about Thundercats Raw because that show was complete utter trash, and it got cancelled. The guy who created it, who created that series, just gone into hiding ever since, because it was a train wreck to begin with, and yeah. What are they thinking? Every time I think about it, makes me. But I'm hoping this is a sign that Cartoon Network listens to these things and realizes the potential, the IP they've got. That it shouldn't, they should not let people like that make ruin shows in such a way that it's not what people want, right? Sometimes it's good to just, if you're going to go down that route, listen to the audience. If the audience like it, if you get good feedback. Typhlosion, that's the name of the Pokemon. Coyote. Let me just type the name to you. Typhlosion. There we go. Typhlosion. Yeah. Oh, I lost the layer there. Where's the layer gone? The fire layer. Oh, there it is. Yeah. And I've lost the reference window. There we go. Reference. There we go. Yeah, the He-Man. Yeah, He-Man. It looks like it's made by the same lot that did the. Oh my goodness! I've just drawn on the same layer as the line layer. See, this is why you got to be careful with these things. And I'll erase it now. That's what happens when you draw on a line layer. That's fine. That's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Well, it's okay. Nothing lost. Nothing lost. It's just I can live with that. I can live with doing that because I've got the base there now. This is my shape. I can work with. So yeah, I blame Thundercats for that. Thundercats are to blame for that. It's all good. Darn Thundercats. It's crazy. Crazy things. Crazy show. So I'm just going to move this down a bit. So I'm going to try and make it so it's the fire's going behind it like a. Obviously, fire can't be controlled, but maybe this one can control the fire. Maybe like that. So I'm trying to get like a nice silhouette going here. So it looks convincing, but not. I still want to give the fire some form of control, like a life. There we go. Don't want to make it too directional because it looks a bit weird. You force in the direction. Sometimes it's good to there you go. That's better. A bit more red there. Yeah, not see salvage. No problem. Not a problem. Drawing on the wrong layer, it's fine. See, I've gotten used to fixing mistakes like that. I'll just erase it and just fix it. If it was that bad, I'll just merge it. But in this case, it's fine. I can just erase it and just continue on as if nothing happened, and blame Thundercats Raw. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys ever watched the trailer to that. I once shared it on Discord. There was a discussion about it, and it was awful. It was cringy. It was just cringy to watch. It's got so much dislikes, and they still went along with it. They went along with it, even though it had massive dislikes, and there's a lot of people on Twitter and all that as well saying it's like, don't do this. We don't want this, and they still made it, and it failed. And to make it more salt to the, like rubbing the salt to the wound. Teen Titans made an episode to take the mick out of it about its fans. It was weird. So they actually made an episode where I don't know if you ever watched Teen Titans. It's basically the teen versions of the Justice League, and basically like they thought they'd do a show based on Thundercats. So obviously some of the teens have watched the show, yeah, and one of them has not watched Thundercats before. They reminisce on the past, and yeah, it's just a blatant attempt to insult fans of the show, saying, "Oh, anyone else?" And what happens is Lion-O, a full size, a realistically drawn Lion-O appears, semi-realistic, and he says, "Oh no, if don't listen to what other people say. If other people don't like the show, they're poo-poo heads," or something along those lines. Just really silly attempt to bait the fans. Yeah, it's Biker Mice. See, Biker Mice. I've not watched that show, but I've a lot of people. There is a following for that, right? There's a lot of people that enjoyed the show, right? Don't get me wrong. It looked good. It looked good. I tell you what. I would love to see. I would love to see Bucky O'Hare return. Bucky O'Hare was serious. It was a serious story as well. Yes, they agree with me. Like that. Actually, it's on YouTube. The actual series is on YouTube. It's actually serious. It's not like a happy chappy show. Like that show was serious. Like toads were like hurting people making slaves out of people. That was some really deep stuff going on there. When I'm surprised that then I'd be impressed if they did like a Bucky O'Hare Netflix. Someone should tweet Netflix, say, "Look, guys, I know you make some good shows. Bring back Bucky O'Hare. Make a Bucky O'Hare series." Oh man, I'd be so impressed if they made Bucky O'Hare similar to Castlevania kind of themed. Not yeah. Don't make it CGI. No CGI. We don't want any CGI stuff. Just 2D, like Netflix like. Oh, yeah. But then again, what's it called? Not Bucky O'Hare. Castlevania had some 3D elements in it, right? I think the He-Man one also has some 3D elements in there as well. So, but yeah, like Bucky O'Hare, that we need that back. We need that show back on, because damn, that show really opened my eyes. Because like I was aware of it when it used to be on TV. I was aware of it, but I never watched it properly until now. Like, I actually binge watched it. Thank you, YouTube. I just binge watched it, whilst I was working. I was like listening to it, and the stuff that goes on. Like I said, it's not a kids show. It's a kids show, but it's not a kids show at the same time. The toads were like ruthless. They'll mean. They'll gits. I'm painting a wrong layer again. Hang on, let me just erase that again. Let's erase that. Let's make a new layer. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. I remember watching the Beowulf film until Dragon turned up. I thought it was actors. Yeah. The Beowulf film was something. Yeah, that was incredible. But I found it like I've never understood the film, but like it's interesting. I mean, I think Angelina Jolie and all that. It was a bit of a weird film, but obviously, I did like the way it looked. Like, yeah, you're right. It looked like almost looked very realistic. It's incredible how far technology has grown, has gone since that film. It's quite accurate source to material. Right. So I thought Beowulf. I don't want to spoil it. I'm not saying any spoilers about it either again. But I thought the film would have like a happy ending kind of thing. It's kind of one of those stories which just it feels like a folk tale, right? Is that a folk tale story? What? It's like a Norse. Is it a Norse folk tale, Norse story, or what is it? Yeah, like this. Like I was not expecting the ending. The ending was unexpected on my part. I watched it. I was like, oh okay, this happens. Okay, I was like, an epic poem. Oh, I see. That's why. Okay, it's an epic poem. Be a wolf, be a wolf. I mean, when I first heard about the film, I thought it was about a wolf. Literally, I thought it was like a werewolf film. How wrong I was! I was getting ready for us. Okay, it's about some guy who maybe turns into a wolf, and then he just like that's why I call him Beowulf, because he's a wolf. He's a man wolf. But watched it. I was like, didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of that happening. Gilgamesh or the Odyssey. I see. Oh yeah, have you guys watched the final Bill and Ted movie? Because I watched it, and hey, if you guys watched it, I don't know what your thoughts were on it. I'm not gonna spoil it again. I'm just gonna say if you guys watched it, you have not. Okay. Yeah. It's another kind of film. If you like me, who followed along the Bill and Ted journey, it's like the journey's end kind of filmed. It's like a fan service film. So it's like try and 50%. That's not good. There you go. Gotta block it in. Yeah. Yeah, I think you should make time to watch that film, Samurai. Get in on it. It's that rock there. Let me just render that rock out as well because that rock is. Just block that rock in. Yeah, Bill and Ted. It's an okay film. Okay film. But like I think along with the other two films, the other two films were okay as well, wasn't it? So, but definitely a good reason to watch because obviously the cast return. So it's a fan service film, isn't it? But yeah, um, definitely worth checking out if you ever get a chance to see it. So horror film wise, I was thinking of returning to watching some of the classics again. So I think I mentioned this a while back. Seeing now with Wait for Matrix 4. I thought the Matrix 4 would be like a not TV online movie, isn't it? Is that what they're doing? I'm not sure. I'm not sure where they're going with all this all online stuff. Or is it gonna be like a TV series of some sort? It's always with TV. It's always to do with online shows now. Pretty sure it's gonna be a big budget film. Right. I bet it's gonna have a lot of bullet time in, like before. A lot of things going slow and rotating around, or something along those lines, and dated special effects. No, actually, I could be wrong. If they is it Wachowski? Is it the Wachowski brothers? If they produce something new, I'd be very impressed. I'd be like, wow, okay, you got some skill there, sir. Adding some glow back here. Just wanna. Size that. I'll tell you what film I would like to see. I'd like to see another Aliens film. Not a Ridley Scott one. Not a Ridley Scott one. We don't want to see any more Ridley Scott films. I know he's making another bloody Prometheus-like film with some other form of strain of xenomorph. I'm just getting fed up of that. I want to see a proper alien film, like maybe like a continuation from Aliens. Bring back Sigourney Weaver. Maybe she's something else, and get James Cameron back on there, and just say, look, just continue that story on. Maybe something along those lines. And yes, yeah, he wanted to do a film, but it got taken off because of Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott's thing caused that to happen, right? So yeah, damn it. We need to we need. Oh wow, Blue Spirit. Wow, thank you for the little cheeky raid there. Wow, that's a big number, big double-digit number. Oh, thank you. Welcome, you lovely people. Welcome. How was your stream? Oh, Admiral Kevin, thank you for the follow there. Ooh, you're too kind. You're very kind. I'll give you a little shout out, Blue. If I can know the command for it. There we go. Blue Spirit 12. Does that work? There we go. Give him a look. Yeah. If any of you people watching me have not checked out Blue, give him a little follow. He's been doing some traditional arting on stream, which is very, very nice. I sadly have not gone down that path yet because I need to set up a camera looking down, and there's a lot of little things I've got to sort out for that. But too much to do. Some Pokemon. Oh, you did some Pokemon as well. Yeah. Well, I'm doing a Pokemon right now. I'm doing a Typhlosion. If that's how you pronounce it, I can't pronounce it. Typhlosion. It's a exploding fiery Pokemon, fiery badgery Pokemon. Oh, now wait a minute. My coffee music stopped working. Loop. There we go. Oh, I nailed it. Okay, nice. Yeah, I did some further reading on this Pokemon before I started, because obviously I thought it was a lizard. It's not a lizard. It's actually a badger or badger-ish. So I'm applying my own knowledge of a honey badger and basically put it into my own version of it, rather than using the illustration, the main illustration has, of what these creatures look like. So I just added my own flair to it and making it more interesting as well. Yeah, make it more dynamic looking as well, because I started off with something really plain. Where's my plain one? There's a really plain one. There you go. Probably see him there. Look at that. We can try and hide the layer here. 1 second. Let me try and hide all this. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Boop. This is what I started off as. A badger on 2 legs, just, waddling around, just to get an idea of what I can do with this. And then, I took it one step further. Make it a bit more dynamic, on a rock or something, just to make it more stand out. Gotta push the idea a bit and make it more exciting to look at. Yeah. Oh, there's the. Well, for a moment I thought I'd drawn the wrong layer. I did it once already while I was talking about Thundercats Roar, and I painted on the wrong layer, and I had to erase a few things, but we're all good. So yeah, I'm hoping to get the blocking of this done tonight, and then tomorrow I can then just smash out the finalization of this for the final render, so to say the least. The final render. Oh yeah, Blue. I know you've been playing. I know you play Phasmophobia. Have you seen the new update they've added? They've added a new update, two new ghosts, and a new house to investigate. A new house. I know how you like scary games. Spooky games. And I get spooked. And I get spooked a lot. I heard looking forward to playing it. Yeah. Of course, I've tried it. The thing is, I play on beta, and one of the things that the things I forgot to check on there is they've increased on beta mode. They increased the rate of how often the ghost goes on hunting. So obviously that's to check any problems with the ghosts and stuff. That's why it's on beta. But I like playing on beta. Yeah, beta's. Yeah. Oh my god. Constantly you get hounded by the spooky ghost. Ghosts don't like you. But yeah, no, it's. But yeah, overall, two new ghosts adds a bit more variety, which is great. You know, because I think the number of ghosts it's got so far is great, but having more is even better because it makes you. It adds more variety, I guess, isn't it? More investigating. You got to decide, and obviously the extra house, the new house, is a bungalow, so you can go around a bungalow now. Which is all good. I like that, bungalows. They still need to add they need to add like a more scarier house or something. Not a house, but maybe like a morgue. That'd be a morgue where they keep the bodies and stuff. Maybe the ghost haunts there, or that'd be pretty cool. I like that. I like a spooky morgue where a ghost or spirit that's been kept there decides to move around a bit. It's not having it. Wants to cause a bit of trouble. Call in the ghost detectives to sort them out. I like that. Oh, another thing I found. Oh, you're gonna love this, Blue. On VR chat, I found a world. Right, I found a world which has pop-up pirate. Pop-up pirate. Literally. You get in the barrel, someone gets in the barrel, and you poke it. You poke it, and then instead of popping out, you're actually sitting on a rocket, and a rocket sends you into space, where you take a photo of yourself as it explodes. How cool is that? it was in Japanese, and I managed to see it, and I was like, wait a minute. I looked at the barrel, and I was like, wait a minute, this is this what I think it is? You can't have a barrel with holes in it like that, and I it is. So someone in Japan made it. So someone Japanese. Someone that's Japanese probably because everything in the game is Japanese, but it all makes sense. Like there's a reset button, the sword's there, someone gets inside it. What more is there to figure out? And yeah, and you can play it desktop. You can play in desktop as well, even though it's a bit fiddly, but yeah, worth trying. Because I was talking to someone. Because the thing is, I've reached a point now where, after making the London First World VR world, I helped alongside someone who built the world. I helped them make the textures and stuff for the world, for assets and stuff. He's been thinking about making games and stuff for VR chat, because there are some games on VR chat, but there's not a lot. They're all just basically simple games. Yeah. There is a London Furs world. If you search for London Furs on VR chat, you'll see a world there that of myself and a few other people have assisted in helping building it for the community. It's a community world for furries to hang out, and we have meets every most evenings on the London First Discord. Or we do it on meet fur meet days. We do it actually on like in the evening or on a Saturday evening as well. We just hang out, people turn up, socialise, just like a normal meet but in VR. Yeah, we wanted to create a world like that because you know a lot of people are missing the meets physically, so it's good to have something like that in place, right? It's kicked off really well, but I'm a person that I like playing games. You know, I don't want to be standing around talking to people for like 2 hours. I've done it. I've done that sort of thing for 2 hours. I've been sitting in a room talking to people for 2 hours or 3 hours about something, and then I realised like, well, I should be playing some games. I want to play some games, man. I don't want to stand around talking. Shoot some people. I heard VRs. My supervisors asking me why are there so portraits on screen. Oh yeah. It's censored because Twitch doesn't like Twitch police don't like it. Twitch police. Dang those Twitch police. And other crazy people, other crazy things, rules that apply. Because Twitch is very family friendly. It's a family friendly website, right? That's why I've had to like ask kindly to a follower who used to follow my stuff on Twitch. I think he still does. He joined my Discord and he was 13 years old. 13 years old. I didn't know that. I was like, whoa. I know. I couldn't really. I had to kick him out. You know, I didn't feel good about it because my server's not really made for people that young. I mean, sure. I mean, if you're 16 or above, should be okay. But yeah, it's a tricky one because that's the price, isn't it? You know, if you're going down that route, and some of my works are not really. Some are most are family friendly like this, but majority of our work is on my Discord server. It's not for people like that. So I do a mishmash of erotic or fantasy arts as well. So it's a tricky thing. It's a tricky balance, right? You know, you got to balance. You got to have to balance it all out. But yeah. But anyway, VR. So yeah, I like playing games. You know, I'm sure a lot of you guys who've been on VR chat, you know, you've played some of the games. The games is what makes it fun. So I've been like keeping a list of so many games that Game Wolves have found, and like laser tag, Bomberman, freeze tag, zombie tag, hide and seek. You know, there's so many games you can get on there. Even Monopoly. I don't think I'll ever play Monopoly because, you know, Monopoly. Play Monopoly. Guess Who's fun to play. If you've ever played Guess Who, that's fun to play for 4, maybe a few games. But you need more. I need more games that, you know, which are fun to play, right? So still trying to anxiously find games that can get people involved and have a bit of fun. And board games, yeah, board games. So now you mentioned that Zebra, you mentioned there are board games there. So there are sandbox worlds out there for board games. So like a board game with 300 pieces, so you can host your own D&D session. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of maybe hosting like a HeroQuest session on there. Maybe there is a Settlers of Catan. There is a Settlers of Catan world in there, but that's in Japanese. Sadly, it's not automated, so all the pieces are there, but you have to like figure out yourself. Carcassonne, that same thing. There are worlds on there which have Carcassonne, but the rules are not there. You've played Catan, yeah. So it looks interesting. Blue. I need to read the manual on it. Have you played? I've not played Betrayal at House on the Hill, and I think that is on in VR chat somewhere. I'll tell you what game is on there, which is Werewolf, because Werewolf, you know, one person's it, the other person's a detective, and you've all got to like talk to each other and decide who's the werewolf and whatnot and work together. So those sort of games are games are great to do, you know. So, but yeah, board games. That's where I think might be nice, especially when you're in VR. You can just pick up a card and go, yeah, because Uno has that kind of feel as well. Uno, uh, it's a fun game. Okay, I might have to read up on that because I've seen Settlers of Catan get mentioned a lot in like even on Tabletop Simulator, and I'm curious to see what that game's about. What is amazing board game? It is first phase is PvP and second is PvE and second phase is sometimes PvE and sometimes PvP, sometimes PvP. Okay, interesting. Okay, I'll definitely check it out because I know on Tabletop Simulator a lot of people play that game. A lot of people play Betrayal on Betrayal at the House on the Hill. So I may have to investigate this because I've always seen it and I've always gone like, well, okay, let's see what it's about. Quite recently, someone recommended to me Resident Evil 2, the board game. I've downloaded the rule set. It's like a 20-page rule book. It's a PvE board game where you work as a team to overcome the odds, and there's different campaigns. I want to try and return to like board game stuff because it's been a while since I've played some board games. It's very conditional for the second phase, but there's like 50 phases. Oh wow, okay, yeah, games like that. Oh, yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. But yeah, I don't often play board games as much because of, like, if I play I used to play Warhammer Quest Silver Tower. I don't know if you heard of that game. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic game. It's a PvE game, but man, it's addictive. But it's a big game. It's a big game. You can spend hours playing it, and before you know it, time's lost. And if you, like me, got things to do, you ain't gonna get stuff done. You're gonna be playing the game for most of the day, and you may only get like 25% of the game done. That's how big of a game it is. So it's something to check out. It is on Tabletop Simulator. If you guys own Tabletop Simulator, I highly recommend it. It's a worthy purchase on Steam. If it goes on sale during the summer sale, buy it. Tabletop Simulator is a nice sandbox environment for board games and stuff. I'm sure most of you already own it. If you don't, do get it. It's a great bit of software. Because obviously most people do play on like Roll20. Is it Roll20? Roll20.net. I used to play on there. I used to play games on there, Roll20, and then it evolved to a Tabletop Simulator, and then once all the you can get all these you can download all these add-ons. You can download community mods, community add-on packs, which have the full board games of various stuff. So you can just download the whole batch of stuff, and you can play with other people. It's great. It's great stuff. And one of them was Warhammer Quest Silver Tower. The only thing you do need is the manual, which I'm sure you can download it from the web somewhere. But I was fortunate because the person who's hosting the game had the actual board game itself, so he had the manual in front of him. So, but you can get Hero Quest on there as well. I've been meaning to get back into Hero Quest. If you've never played Hero Quest, wow, it's a fun little easy peasy game. But you can make it's more fun when you customize the rule set to your own group, if that makes sense. You can be the game master and you can change the rules a bit to make it more fun for yourself and for the others, to make it engaging. It's a great way to start out as a game master as well. If you've never been a game master before, Hero Quest is a good way to start it off. How's it going, Peach Weasel? Howdy. And E621 goes, "Arr." Yeah, like, I mean, I wouldn't say downloading free PDFs is good, but I'd say if you're planning to buy the board game, you want to give it a try, I think that's a good way to do it, and then decide if you want to get it. That's the thing. But like with Silver Tower, you won't find it anywhere. It's such a rare game now because there was a limited run game by Games Workshop, and the board game itself costs around about £175. So it's not a cheap game, but it's really good. It's the advanced version of HeroQuest. Oh no, it's a pirate! Because yes, you're gonna pirate it. You're gonna pirate that copy, sure, are you? The pirate's life for me. But yeah, it's a great game, great little game. But HeroQuest, I want to try and I want to try and host a game session of that via Discord at some point, just for fun, because it's a great little game, and it's easy to learn. It's easy to learn. I mean, I can probably teach anyone that wants to play it how to play the game. It's not hard, and it's basically the beginner's version of Warhammer. So if you want like we're talking baby Warhammer, baby version of Warhammer. The rule set is so basic. Yeah, it's basic as ever. So you don't need to know much about anything other than rolling. All you need to be good at is rolling the dice and knowing how to do stuff. Oh yeah, did you see the Necromonger's coming back? I didn't know about that. No. I'll be honest. I've not been following much on the Warhammer Games Workshop stuff in a long while, other than the board game sets, the simple board game sets, because I kind of I'll be honest. I fell out of Warhammer when I was 16. 16? No, hang on. Yeah, 16, 17. I dropped out. I think I went through like a phase of enjoying Warhammer when I was 14. 3 years. Those 3 years were my amazing time of playing Warhammer games. Especially Space Hulk. Not Space Hulk, sorry. Warhammer 40 Space Wolves. I had a Space Wolves army when I was playing Warhammer 40k. That was my first army. So clearly you can see why I went for Space Wolves, because it was like, oh, they're wolves. Okay. No, it was great. It was great. I enjoyed painting the models. I think the painting element was what got me hooked on it, and the gameplay side was great, because I was fortunate. I was very fortunate to know people that who'd I'd play with, and then I think after that, after selling the army, I went a bit cold turkey on Warhammer, and then my interest came back again when playing HeroQuest with some friends. We used to play HeroQuest at a friend's house, and we used to bring our own models there and stuff. Yeah, that was it was very good. That's why every time I think about HeroQuest, I always think about that era of playing with friends. We go around, all huddled together. We bring our character sheets with us, and we just play, a session of it. We make up the quests. So whoever is what's it called, in charge of that time, whoever's in who's the game master, they will make up a silly story, a really stupid story, and a stupid plot, and we just go from there. It's hilarious. It was hilarious. Nothing was taken seriously. That's what makes it great. It's never taken seriously. I think that's it. And the beauty of it is, obviously, like I said before, it's a great way to become a GM, because you can use your imagination, and you don't have to be right or wrong about it. As long as it's got enemies in there, and you're doing what you're doing, it's all good. Warhammer. But yeah, Warhammer, yeah, and Warhammer's got like a relatively big following back then. I'm sure it still has now, but like I used to the school I used to go to, there used to be fair few Warhammer fans, so there would always be someone you can talk to about the stuff that used to go on and stuff there. Heresy and all that, and the codex talk as well. Talk about the codex and the issues. We'd also get the issues of White Dwarf. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. White Dwarf. It's like a magazine kind of thing that tells you more, about what's been going on in the world of in the Warhammer universe, Games Workshop universe, and you also get free quests, campaigns in it as well sometimes, which are really cool. Campaigns in it are really nice as well, crafted. So things like that, yeah, really masterfully done. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I only bought one because at the time my parents didn't want me to like subscribe to anything. So they only got me. I think I only had like two or three issues, and that was it. And like my parents said, no, like we bought you stuff. That's it, no more. They weren't too pleased when I got rid of the stuff, because like a lot of money went into it. I wasn't committed to it. I was going through a phase of where like drawing is more important than board games and stuff. I was like, I've got this stuff lying around. I'm not using it for anything. I should probably like get rid of it. But it's one of those sort of phases, right? You go through a phase where you're following like other people doing the same thing as you're trying to fit in with other people. And I think that's what happened. I think, but I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm kind of grateful that I experienced the Warhammer side of things and Hero Quest and whatnot. There's one game which I've found on Tabletop Simulator. It's called Space Crusade. I've read the rulebook on that. It looks straightforward to learn. I may be tempted to host a game or two of that as well. Again, we'll have to see what happens and see how straightforward it is. If it should be as simple as Hero Quest, right? So we'll have to see. Basically, it's like you see an enemy, you shoot them. Doesn't matter what the range is. If you see that, it's all about line of sight. So you can see them at the end of the corridor, you can still kill them. As long as you get enough hits on the dice, that's pretty much it, really. So if it was actual Warhammer stuff, then there'll be a lot more things you have to consider, right? You have to consider the range. There's a lot of more in-depth dice rolling, and obviously armor points. You have to roll dice for armor points, armor deflection, stuff like this. There's so much extra things, whereas Space Crusade doesn't have anything like that. It's just simply roll the dice. If it hits, you're out of there. You got the kill. Move on. But the only difference is compared to Hero Quest is that in Space Crusade you control a squad, including the squad commander. So you have a squad commander and 5 other Space Marines, and you had 3 chapters: your Iron Fist, Blood Angels, and Ultramarines, if I'm correct. Yeah, it's very nostalgic. Like if you see the board, if you ever get a chance to see it, if you Google it, you'll see the dice. It's the rule set of Space Crusade is basic. It's baby basic, but even though it's basic and it's really simple, this is where you can apply it as a game master. You can apply your own extra rules to make it more fun. This is where you can start bending the rules a bit and saying, if you roll two attacks, roll a d6 to decide whether the gun jams or not. Stuff like that. You can do some really stupid things just to make it more exciting. So it makes the players more engaged, because obviously the rule set on its own can be a bit boring. When you're playing with a friend, you have 100 odd soldiers each. Yep. Oh man, 100. Woo. That's what it's about. Yeah, sorry if people are listening, if we're rambling on about the good old days of Warhammer and all that Games Workshop-y stuff. It's damn good. It's damn good. Love making scenery too. Feels like so good to have mounts. See, I wanted to buy those sort of things, and I didn't have the luxury at the time. Yeah, we used cardboard boxes and stupid things like that. We actually we didn't have much to the secondary school people didn't really have that stuff. We ended up just doing on cardboard boxes, and sometimes we'd like have like wooden blocks from the design workshop, the workshop wood shop place that had a few things lying around. We can use that as obstacles and stuff, or tactical, just as sceneries and stuff like that. But yeah. Okay. So this might extend this leg out, but just add a bit more. I think maybe needs to. There we go. Go. Yeah. I was actually looking at more board games other than Games Workshop as well. Like, there's a game called Ghost Castle. It's a very old board game, and it involved a haunted house. A haunted house. You have to progress the haunted house, and if I'm right, every time you landed on a skull, you got this little glow in the dark skull, and you put it on top of the house. So it's a 4-quadrant board with this house in the middle, and you put the skull at the top, and it randomly rolls inside and downwards, and it will fall out in one of the 4 quadrants. And if it lands in your area and you're in it, there's like certain areas where the skull will knock your character over. If it knocks your character over, I think you have to start all over again. But yeah, it's really cool. They don't make board games like that anymore. This was done by Milton and Bradley, so MB Games. It's a very common board game company in the UK. They obviously they're the ones that also introduced the Games Workshop stuff as well. It was during a time where Games Workshop and Milton Bradley, or MB Games, were trying to establish more of a presence of their stuff, because Games Workshop was very niche. How's it going, Olive? I've got itchy eyes there. Itchy eyeball. Games Workshop weren't really was more of a niche product, right? It was a niche product for its time, and they needed some sort of introduction to the younger community to get involved in like games, like like their board game stuff and whatnot. Scrub that eyeball. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of itchy eyes now. So itchy right now. Scratch it again. Itchy. I've got we've hit the 2-hour limit, and we've got about 20 minutes to go. Wow, it's like dang. You're having a good time. Things just fizzle out. There's a nostalgic tears. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. The nostalgic thoughts like, oh god, I remember that day. Oh, the 80s. Oh, board games. Oh, Games Workshop. Space Crusade. Oh no, not Hero Quest. Oh. Ooh. Oh, it's all coming back. Like, do you know something? I actually, upstairs in my loft, I do have the board game of UK Gladiators. Now, I'm sure if you're in the States, you probably have American Gladiators, but in the UK we had Gladiators, and man, that show was incredible. And my cousins, they bought me that board game, the Gladiators board game, for Christmas. Unfortunately, I had no one to play it with, so. But it's got all the games. It's got Atmosphere, it's got the Wall. It's even got the Eliminator. How insane is that? Literally, it's got the just wow. It is incredible. If you Google Gladiators the board game, you'll see it. You'll see what I mean. You may find like photos of it. Yeah, it's incredible. I tell you, in fact, I tell you what. There's one board game I really wanted and I never got, and my cousins got it, and that was the Crystal Maze board game. The Crystal Maze. I wanted that because you had like the friggin' dome in the middle and all these little things going on around it. Damn! And like when I saw that, I was like, I wanted that. I wanted it so badly. My parents didn't get me it. Oh! There it is. Yeah. See, it's it's a good board game. I mean the gameplay itself. I did play it once with one v two player only. It was okay. I think the game would be more fun if there's more people involved. But like on its own with small number of people, it's yeah. But it was decent. It was decent for what it is. It's decent for what it is, and. Almost lost a train of thought there about board games. Oh yeah, Crystal Maze. Wanted that board game. Damn it. Damn it. I don't know if any of you guys out there like had like parents that didn't get you the board game that you always wanted. Like I wanted Crystal Maze. What was the other game I wanted? I wanted Hero Quest. I didn't get Hero Quest. They didn't get me Hero Quest. I had to like play it at a friend's house eventually. That's how I got caught in that. The Warhammer stuff happened later, but again that didn't last long. But like the Warhammer thing, I didn't really have a board game. There was nothing there. It was just some miniatures. It was just miniatures. That's all I had. So basically, someone else. I wasn't well established in the knowledge of Warhammer, but I had the pieces, and someone else had the rule set. They knew more about it than I did, but I just went along and got educated by them. It's like, oh yeah, okay, move your little dice over here. Move your little model over here. You know, you want to shoot that thing over there? Oh, you got to measure the distance. Measure the distance with a little ruler. We had a ruler out. Get distance in. Roll dice. Okay. Now roll again. Oh, it's a hit. Okay, armor hit. Great. Take the piece off. Simple as that. So yeah, I missed out on some really good board games out there. And Space Crusade was another board game I wanted. Again, same thing. My folks didn't get me it. So sad times. Are there any board games out there that you guys always wanted but got not denied, but just, you know? Sure, everyone's had like a cool parents like, yeah, mummy, I want this board game. And they go, yep, sure. Mousetrap. I had Mousetrap. So all the games that I wanted, they got me friggin' Mousetrap. And do you know what's painful about it? It was missing one piece. It was missing the. So there's a part where the ball sits on top of this thing and it rolls down. There's a top part there. It was missing that section. It was missing that part from the box. I'm not sure. I guess in board game, out of all the board games they got me, it had to be a set which was missing one piece, and that really wound me up. But yeah, I was like so annoyed. It's like, basically no board games I can remember. Oh, look, oh. But Mousetrap was a Mousetrap. It, when you think about it, it's a nice game, but there's not much that goes on. I actually spent some time investigating my old board games and Mousetrap. I was gonna move on to Mousetrap eventually, but I'm glad you, Peach. I'm glad you brought it up, and I'm gonna talk about it. So nothing happens in that board game other than building the Mousetrap. There's no sense of anything. Like, you have to get to the cheese, right? And the other person has to get to the friggin' mechanical way to you got to trigger the trap. But other than that, there's nothing else there, and that's a shame, really, because the game had potential. I think that's me being picky about it, because like there's not much that really goes on. It's like you got to get to the cheese, right? At the same time, you got to build the trap, and that's it. But I think they could have done a bit more for it. That's just me being just criticizing just the game itself. I mean, but I guess when you're young, you can get. I'm sure when you're young, you just it's all fantastic. But me looking at it now, I'm thinking I must have been on something when because I was in that same shoes. You know, when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing! Like the ball's rolling down, it goes across here. You know, the trap comes down. Whee! But yeah. If I was to play it now, I'd probably be not be impressed. I'm like, is that it? The trap's down. Is that it? Is the game over? All right, let's go and play something else. Let's play something else instead. Oh. I'm such a picky old fart. Oh. But yeah. There's a few other games which I oh yeah, Guess Who? Guess Who was another board game I kind of had, but I didn't have. So my cousin's sister, when I was younger, when I was like, I think I was like 6 years old, my cousin's sister had Guess Who, and I cried. I was one of those sort of bratty kids. When I went round their house and I saw she had this board game, and I'm like, I want to take it home with me. I did take it home with me, and you know, I hope to. You know, this is why when you have nephews and stuff like that, you just got to hope to hell they don't see any board games you own. Otherwise, they'll want to take it home, take it away with them. So I'm hiding all my any board games, any collectibles. Good luck with the Typhlosion. Good luck. I've hopefully got some luck with me. Airfolds. How are you today? Well, how are you this evening? Oh, this morning. Well, it's gone midnight now. It's gone midnight here. 2 minutes past midnight. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Yeah. Damn, time's gone fast. And I've got about 20 or so minutes left of this session as well. Doing alright, we're doing alright at the moment though. Gonna try and this looks kind of like a circle now. It's almost becoming like a circle, this creature. Gotta be careful. It's not a circle. It's not a circle. Should write not a circle over it as a disclaimer. I should. I should. It's not a cheese wedge. It's not a goddamn cheese wedge. I mean, the general idea at first was it was going to be like a honey badger muzzle. I changed it a bit because I can still bring back the honey badger look, right? Because the honey badger is what Google and other people on forums and stuff keep going on about. So it looks like a honey badger. It's based off a honey badger, you see. But I wonder if I should get some of that likeness back in there. Because the nose as well. I've kind of copied the nose. I've kind of used the nose what's on the reference of the actual Typhlosion rather than the badger one, because the badger's nose is slightly different. Where's my brush there? Is that the right? Yeah. Yeah. So as you can see, that if I turn it off there, it's got a bit of a roundish nose thing going on, but I've got rid of that. So it would be more like kind of that kind of snouty nose. Look a bit weird. A little bit weird. Actually, it's just sugar water with caramel colouring. Actually, honey badgers are just regular badgers called. Ah, they're coated in honey. Hmm. I did a honey badger badge once. Honey badger portrait for someone. I think it might be in the slideshow below, but I'm not sure. I keep forgetting what's in that slideshow. But I did do a. Oh damn, race there. I did do a honey badger. I painted the wrong layer. There you go. Never mind. Yeah, that was fun. It was for someone who's a photographer who does the photography for Confuzzled. One of the things I like about doing badges is the fact that people have interesting characters, especially the unique ones. Because I know most of the badges I've done last year were mostly wolves, which is you know, not complaining about it, but it's a common it's a common critter, right? It's can't really escape wolves. So sorry. So not much can be said, but yeah. But sometimes you get someone that comes along and says, "Hey, what's your character?" And they go, "I'm a honey badger." I'm like, "Okay, seems fun. I like honey badger." Broke the badger ate something of mine at Composite 2012, and I still haven't forgiven him for it. Oh dang, that's not good. What did he eat? I just found out a board game I used to play in aunties as a child from. What's it called? What's this board game called from the 1960s? It must be a plush line. Oh dang! You should probably contact Confuzzled and say, look, I want some compensation for. Seek compensation for your loss. I'd say. See, oi. I want my plush line reimbursed, please. Oh. Like a Viking castle board game, retreat from what I remember. Oh wow, okay. Huh. Trying to think of other board games which I may have missed out on, and I would have loved to play more of. Mine's gone blank, but just gotta darken that out there. I think I've lit this up a bit too much. I'm just gonna. There we go. Adding a bit more light here so it comes out forward towards us a bit. Just gotta knock that back a bit. There we go. Okay, as a loose snakes and ladders vibe when you climb in the castle and watch the traps. You play against each other to get to first and rip each other. Oh, things trip each other. Okay, sounds like a fun game. Those all games are great. Where you have to like get people to drop down, to get ahead. I remember someone bought Kaplunk in my house, and once I played it once, I really wanted to. Ah, Kaplunk's a great game. I'm hoping someone makes that in VR chat, because it's just basically sticks and marbles. But I think the problem stems as well of the physics, the ball physics, and the randomization, because obviously the sticks have to be randomly placed, right? So it'd be interesting to see if that can work. Oh, Boggle. Oh, I'll tell you another game. that's on VR chat, which I've not actually kind of figured out yet. I've not actually tried it yet, and that's Yahtzee. Yahtzee, the dice game. That looks interesting. I'm sure it's a relatively simple game, but it looks interesting, and it's I think it's like six player game. I'm only aware of it because I remember a South Park episode where Kyle plays Yahtzee in like a Tron environment. Don't know if you guys remember that, if you've watched South Park. There's a scene where he plays against himself in a game of Yahtzee. Gonna fix that sty there. There we go. That's better. Oh, that's better. Gives me a bit more definition down the thigh. There we go. Let me make it darker, reflect it off that surface there. There we go. Just darken this down a bit, just to push it back. There we go. Is Boggle's the one with the letters, isn't it? You have to like score as many words. As Is that right? So it's like a 4x4 like square bunch of dice, and then you come up with as many words as you can. Is that right? I'll tell you another board game I always wanted, but obviously I suck. I'll probably suck at it. I'm not sure why I wanted it, but I think I wanted it for one reason. This is more for the UK people. It's a board game called Countdown. It's based off the original series Countdown, and the only reason I wanted it is because it came with like a board, like a proper board where you can put your letters on, like consonants and vowels and stuff like that. Stupid things like that. It's ridiculous. But one of which I thought the board game would come with the actual clock, the 30-second clock, but it doesn't. It just comes with an egg timer. So I was pretty disappointed. My primary school actually had that board game, and I thought, I was pretty amazed. I was like, oh damn, it's Countdown. It's actual Countdown. Opened the box up, and I was pretty disappointed. It's like, this sucks. All your hopes, all the hopes of knowing what was going to be in it, gone. Yeah, Boggle's Letters game. Yeah. Because when you mentioned Boggle, King of the Hill sprung to mind. Peggy Hill from King of the Hill. She's a Boggle champion, right? She's a Boggle champion. So that kind of kicked in there. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. For some reason, whenever someone mentions Boggle, I immediately think of David Mitchell. Can't say why. I'm going to sound a bit ignorant and say, who's David Mitchell? I'm going to Google him now. Now that you mention it. David Mitchell. Who's the British comedian? He's a British comedian. What is he known for? Mitchell and Webb. Oh, yes, I know this guy. Yes, Peep Show. Okay, yeah. I used to watch Peep Show. Great series. Do you remember a show called Game On? That was a BBC show, comedy show. Some crazy about some people some young people that lived in a apartment. The cops took up, and you'd have this one, like this dweeby guy. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, yeah, yes, 90s. Yeah, it was like some dweeby guy and some surfer kind of crazy dude, and some woman, unemployed woman or some sort. I can't remember vaguely, but I still vaguely remember the intro and like. Oh, those were the days. Do you know something, right? So, I'm sure you all know you all know the show Father Ted. I never started watching that until way after. Like, I used to hate the intro of Father Ted. I never knew what it was about, and I kind of regret it. I should have made the effort. Stop being stop being a git. Because I think at the time I enjoyed Bottom, I enjoyed Red Dwarf, shows like that. But Father Ted, I knew about it, but I never watched it. I never knew what it was about, and I kind of regret it. Because I used to hate, like I said, the intro just put me off on it, and the whole idea of priests and stuff. I didn't know what the hell, I thought it was boring. Like I never watched an episode, so all I knew about it was the adverts and stuff, and I was like, oh, this sounds boring. But then I think one day when I actually sat down and watched it, I was like, damn, I missed this. I must have just. What was I thinking? Yeah, it's great. It's a great series. What a show! And I guess it would have continued on to be a great series if the guy who played Father Ted had not passed away. Bless, he'd I think he died of a heart attack, if I'm correct. Suffered a heart attack. So it was a shame. Shame. So I'm just nearly blocked this in now, and I'm hoping to have it all ready for tomorrow. So tomorrow it's just be a case of just refining it and getting it ready. Did you refuse to watch it until someone told you go? Yeah, so along those lines, Evolves. My first experience was the government PSA for inner revenue with Mrs. Doyle, actually. Oh, okay. Speaking of which, PSAs, oh my god. I can talk about PSAs again. I could talk about PSAs, but I think I should probably leave that for another session. Maybe tomorrow. UK had some really scary PSA videos. And you can find them on YouTube as well. And I actually watched a few of them just to remind myself how scary they were. I remember some from back then, like the firework ones, to pylons, to gas, spending of gas, what to do, and never play with matches. There's some terrifying ones, like ones that really will shake you up. And obviously this was like from the 80s and 90s, so well, I still remember them. It must be Aria Tiny Minds. But yeah. PSAs are. I'm sure in the US probably has some scary ones, but UK had some terrifying ones, like stuff that was, yeah. They were just brutal, right? They were just. But I think those sort of PSAs, I guess they're made like that just so you remember them. But one of the ones which was interesting, this PSA is a set collection of PSAs called Protect and Survive. I think it was Survive and Protect, and these were videos that are made in the UK if there was a nuclear fallout. If there's a nuclear fallout, so it's like 12 parts, a 12-part PSA video. Each one's like 5 minutes long, I think, 5-minute video, and it talks about what to do in an event of a fallout. When you hear the sounds, how to protect yourself, how to bury the dead, how to what sort of food to keep and stuff like that, and what to do after a fallout. Yeah, public service announcement. Yeah. It's on YouTube as well. Protect and Survive. It's very I think it was done. It was. I think. Yeah, it was done during the early '80s. I think, or early '80s. I think. I can't remember, but like has a kind of vibe to it. But yeah, very eerie as well. Very eerie music as well for it. Like. Yeah, I'm only mentioning this because the PSA got mentioned there by earphones. Triggered me. See, it triggered me about talking about PSA videos. But yeah, I still love watching them. I still love. I went through a phase of watching PSA videos in a while back. This was before the lockdown, by the way. So I was like, oh, I've got to watch some PSA videos. I want to scare myself a bit. But I find them. I find them more. I find them to be interesting. I find them like they're for its time as well. Even like for example, speeding or road safety, Green Cross Code. There used to be a show in the UK called Super Ted, which is about a teddy bear which gets cosmic powers from a Martian. Even Super Ted made like a PSA video about crossing the road and stuff, and he even Super Ted. I still remember it vaguely. Remember it that he even says at the end of the video, like end of this PSA, that he may not be there to save you. Like yeah, you gotta be careful. So gotta be careful, about crossing the road safety. So yeah, road safety. Okay, I think I've done enough here for the session, maybe. I need to knock back. So I'm kind of stop blocking. I've kind of started rendering bits of it out already. So the nice thing is for the next session, I won't have to do much other than fix a few. The hands actually need a bit of work as well. Still doing cycle. Still doing. Oh, still remembering to do the cycling proficiency at school. Oh, I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to do the cycling proficiency test. It must have been one of the unfortunate schools which didn't have that luxury. Oh. Well, hang on, wait a minute. Are his hands not green, are they? Let me just check before I start painting it away. Oh, they're okay. They're not. They'll see. I nearly booped it up there. Actually, keep that. Just undo the wristy part. Okay, so its mittens, its arms are the same colour as the creamy colour. So I'm gonna try and get that in there. There we go. Just got a bit carried away there. See when you its arms are. Huh. Okay. It's fine. So you can see there, I've done some overpainting there. I can fix those. I'll fix the arms before I end this session. I think that'll be adequate. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Oh. See, as you can see, I just did that there. Boop. Just gonna fill that in. Get that shape in there. And okay, so it's coming on the side. It's coming from there. Okay, cool. Just gonna bring in this. Excuse me. Oh. Comes down on the arm, but it actually ends there, so it's fine. Yeah. Looks fantastic. This would be a fantastic special shirt. Yeah, yeah. It's just me messing around. I consider these paintings to be like me just not caring about how something should look. Because normally when you're working on a client piece, when I'm working on a client piece, I tend to be really strict about being adventurous, because you have to be really careful. Because I've done stuff for people, and in the past, they've always wanted it done in a specific way. Unless they say to me, "You got creative freedom," then I go all crazy. But that's when I feel better. But most of the time, people say, "Oh, they want it in a specific way," or they want something specific. Like they don't want me to add things to it. If that makes sense. But normally what I sometimes do is, if I do something a certain way, I normally explain do like a little presentation of like why this should work and why something else may not work. And so I never really rely on the reference that I'm given or anything totally. I always take the ideas of the reference, but I never use the reference. So that makes it more fun, right? Yeah, because obviously that way I'm making it my own idea rather than just taking what I'm just giving and recycling it. I feel as if though it's some of the best work is just goes for it. Cool. Yeah. Hmm. I should probably share some of the stuff I've done for actual studio work, because I'm not. I think I'll have to double check. I'll have to double check first, because I've done some stuff for some studios, um, which can be good examples. I did some stuff for the game Starbound. This was early concepts, way early concepts, preliminary. This is like before Starbound became Starbound. Um, so yeah. I need to find out if I got permission, because that basically that when I had so well an NDA was signed. I have to see if I'm allowed to do it or not, because it was done on a whim at the time. At the time, I was kind of looking for work, and there was an ad going on on a forum, indie game forum, about people in London, local. It's mainly known as Sun Destination. It was at the time it wasn't given a name or anything. It was just like we work on this project which has avians, plant people, the Florians. They weren't called Florians at the time. They were just told it was gonna be like a plant like race. There was another name as well. It was Florian. Florian was one of them, but there was another name they were going to use, and the avian race was different as well. So the tribal race they had a bit more depth to it. But, it didn't get used. It was kind of kept on loose terms. And then you had the robots, the robotic race, and the humans and the apes. But yeah, I did mostly the avian stuff. Itchy nose. I did the sneeze again, and the axolotl race as well. I did one for them, one of them, but sneeze all. Excuse me. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, it was fun, but yeah, it was a hush hush. Thank you. It was a hush hush story, hush hush project, because obviously they were like they were very secretive. They were very secretive. Um, like even after launch, I asked like, can I like share some of my work, and they said no, you can't share it publicly, but you can share it if you're doing it if you're going for an interview. If an illustration interview is fine, but not for the internet. There's some clause in the contract which states that no digital stuff could not be shown, but yeah, that's why the works I did when were forever hidden away. But yeah, we'll have to see, because the game's been out for years now, right? Yeah. And it is a really good game. It is a really good game. If you've not played Starbound, I would highly recommend it. The music in it is phenomenal. You can just play it for the music. The music in it is just, it's what makes you want to play more, I think, right? And the avian, I like the avian race in it. It's a tribal race, so it has that kind of Mayan like kind of feel to it. So that's what I liked. That's what's nice about it as well. So I'm gonna add a glow to this. So just to add some subsurface scatter from there. Don't know if it's got red blood or. Same here as well. Lines there. Yeah, what time is it now? 2:00. Whoa! We've gone over. I think I've gone over the limit. I've gone over that blooming limit. Because I've gone a bit too far. Even too much fun. Okay, let's wrap it up here, because I'll probably be back tomorrow working on more of this. I'm gonna jump on Discord for a bit. It's because it's gone midnight 31 here. Trying to keep it. I'm trying to be good with timings, because I always tend to like get carried away. You know, I can just work on this all night, right? I can work on this all night and just forget that I've got work tomorrow. Oh no! Thank you for joining me. That's it's been grand. It's been grand. It's been informative, I guess. I hope in terms of conversation wise, we've went through PSAs, we went through board games, we went through went through TV shows, we went through hot sauce ciders with hot sauce. I don't know what that was about, but we went through quite a lot of topics. And so yeah, tomorrow we can probably talk about some other topics, like obviously PSA videos. That's an interesting area. My adventures of watching really old PSA videos and why they were really spooky. But I think we've covered that already. I'm not sure, but maybe I can go talk about that a bit more. We can talk about some more horror films. Actually, I was going to talk about The Thing, because that's another film I want to rewatch again. I want to rewatch The Thing again, and make some comparisons to the original The Thing from Another World, which I always use the quotes for. You know, keep watching the skies. That's my quote tag I use at the end of the stream. I'm not sure why I use it. I thought it sounded good, and it's become like a token thing. Keep watching the skies so. It's one of those all nice things to end the session with, because it's like a keep the eyes out there, keep your eyes wary out and see what's out there. Oh yeah, it's been a chill, after work chill, the after work chill streams are fun. That's what that's what it's about. Tomorrow I'm going to be going into the studio, because the company I work at, they're having a team lunch. Ooh, a team lunch, and obviously my art director said you can come in if you want to. So if they're paying for it, I'm like, yeah, I'm down for it. I'm happy to go along. So the nice thing is I'm going to be working from home in the morning, and then around 12 going to be heading over there, hanging out with the rest of the team, with the other artists and designers, and we're just going to be sitting around drinking and eating, and then head back to the studio, which is in London Bridge, which is not far from Chucklefish Studios, the people that do Starbound. Chucklefish around there as well. So, going to be hanging around, going to be working there until probably 5 or 6, and then hopefully head to a coffee shop to do some more doodling, because commuting in London after work is the worst. In the morning and morning from 9 till from 8 till 9:30. It's just horrible. And obviously, with the pandemic, you don't really want to be standing close to anyone. And then obviously after 5 o'clock, it's going to be the same thing. People trying to get home, so it's busy as hell. This is why what I tend to do when I finish work, I go straight to a coffee shop, get my pad out, start drawing on there, make notes and stuff. I'm actually going to spend some time actually doing some script writing. I want to make a comic. It'll be a not safe for work comic though, but it'll be a witty thing, a witty comic. I suck at writing, so I'm just going to wing it. I'm just going to make it and see what happens. That's the plan, because I've noticed that a lot of people spend hours and hours and hours and years and stuff writing scripts up, and I think maybe I should just make it and just see what happens. If it sucks, it sucks. If it's good, then it's good. But I should just make it and see what happens. But I've just only written the synopsis for the first issue, the first part. So there's still a lot to do. But I'm hoping to make like maybe a 4-part story and see how it goes. But it could all tumble. It could all tumble badly. But we shall see. We shall see where it goes. But it involves nuns. There you go. If you want to know what it's about, it involves nuns. So not safe for work, and it involves nuns. You can probably get a gist of it, right? The thing is, the initial script will be shared to my not safe for work Patreon lot, because the Hitman nuns. I don't know if it'll hit Hitman nuns, but it will have nuns, and it's comedy erotica. Comedy erotica is the word is the right word I would say. I mean, I was thinking to making it smutty, but I think the way to achieve that would be to keep the smut stuff separate from the main story, so that way it's like an additional pages and stuff which are bonus to the story, if that makes sense, rather than it being included in the story itself, like as pages. So yeah, it's like because I like to think that making comics with just smut it doesn't add much rereading value, because it's people gonna look at the pictures and then move on and chuck the comic over their shoulder. That's it. Whereas I want to make something that's got story in there, and it's got a bit of jokes in there, and then obviously the smart side is like a separate insert. I think of it as like an insert. So I think that might make it nicer as well. So that way the main story can still continue on. You can still read the story without the smart, and it'll still continue on. It always means so much more. Just get people invested in the story. And I'm not really good at writing, and sadly the writer that I used to work with, who I worked on a not safe for work comic, sadly it's on pause right now because he passed away in early January from cancer. So that was a bit of a shock. I need to finish that part. I need to finish that part off. I need to go to his flatmate's house to get the script of the current comic I worked on, and see if I can continue it. I may need to find a writer, or I could just continue on myself. But I'm not, like I said, it's going to be a bit wishy-washy. But we'll have to see how much was written on that part. But I'm hoping this nun comic, is a good way for me to get familiar with writing, if that makes sense. I know a lot of people write comics and stuff. They seem to be doing really well. That doesn't necessarily mean mine will be good, but I don't know. Only time will tell and what people think of it. So I'm still painting. I'm still going out. Well, I should probably. I'm gonna try and get his hands done. I've got a feeling what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is when I finish the stream. When I continue to stream tomorrow, it's not gonna be finished. So if I try and get as much as I can done now, maybe just to quickly block this in. Maybe tomorrow I can just, smash it in. That's very good artwork. Oh, thank you, Nate. Thank you, Nate. Thank you very much. Your words, your kind words mean a lot. Thank you. So I'm going to call it time in a minute because obviously I did say I'm going to end the stream and I've gone to 2 hours 57 minutes. So I'm being cheeky now. I'm being cheeky because I always say that I always will stream and end the stream at 2 hours 30. And as you can see, I've gone beyond that. I've gone beyond that time limit. I've gone beyond that. The promise. Might as well wait until 3 hours now. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, you're right. Exactly. So this is what's gonna happen in Air Force. I'm gonna say 3 hours. Like I'll stop. I don't know. It'll just keep on going, and I'll say another 10 minutes. Make it a nice round number. Yeah. That'll be perfect. I'll be honest. The longest I've ever streamed, right? This was on Picato. It was for I think it was 10 hours. It was 10 hours. 10 hours from midnight. It was from midnight, and I think I ended the stream around about 11 or something. I didn't know. I think it was more than 10. I don't know. But it was long. From midnight. From midnight to 11 in the morning, and that destroyed me because I just passed out. I just my sleeping pattern was ruined as well because of it. But I had a good time because a lot of people were there. Conversation was had. You know, when you're having a good time and you're working on stuff, you just forget about time, and then before you know it, it's crazy. I was doing that shift. I was doing that streaming session because at the time I wasn't really working on any contracts. I was taking a break from doing any contractual work, so it's nice to just do stuff for yourself. And yeah, that was a very bad thing to do. But I noticed a lot of people on Picato stream for a lot. They stream for hours, and that's just crazy. I think that's it's not good practice. I don't know. It's you have to take your well-being is important, right? You gotta take care of yourself, right? You can't just do things like that. But people seem to have endurance of doing those crazy feats, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth the energy. You can get burned out too easily because I know by 10 a.m. I was burned out. I was just I was burned out completely. I don't know what I was doing. My brain wasn't functioning. I was like, just, mindlessly blotching things. About 15 years ago, I did 24-hour live internet radio show for official magazines, which was fun. But overnight, we had staff and magazines to chill out. Yeah, see like that. That'll be fun. That's fun because, I guess with internet radio stuff, I guess you're just sitting around talking, and that's conversation's great. But when you're drawing, it's like you're physically doing something. I guess you have to be focused. I guess with drawing, you have to be focused a bit to do things right. Otherwise, you're just dawdling away and making silly mistakes. But a 24-hour radio show of some sort would be nice. That'd be very nice. I do love streaming though, so productive. Yeah, of course. Yeah, streaming is a great way to keep yourself going. That's the great thing. And as I was telling Kevin, I tried my best in drawing, and he said that keep working on the moment. I suck at the moment. I haven't drawn in a long time, and I haven't drawn in years, and I lost my passion for drawing until I started doing digital drawing, and I'm still terrible at it. I'm still trying to get back into my old hobby of drawing. Yeah, well, see, drawing. I'm going to hit the 3-hour mark now. See, I'll end the session with these few kind words. When I'm teaching someone to draw, when I'm teaching someone to paint, I always ask them. I asked them the same question that I got that a friend of mine who taught me some stuff in terms of illustration. He told me an interesting question, which I always ask people I teach, is what is it? Why do you want to draw? You have to have a good reason why you want to get out of bed and pick up the pen to draw. You have to get that motivation. You have to find that reason. And there has to be a reason why you want to do the skill that you want to do. You have to ask yourself that question. Why do you want to draw? to make my wife happy. There is that, but like there has to be a really good reason, a drive, you know. And for me at the time, I'll give you my reason. My reason was to draw was to learn more about anatomy and figure draw and various figure drawing techniques. And I like to think I've done that because I don't stick figures. I don't do stick figures, even though stick figures is still around. But I've learned so many various techniques to approaching observation drawing, analysis of drawing, things like that, and how to tackle problems, and that has fortified my skill set in terms of drawing stuff. But the thing is, that was my interest. That was my reason I wanted to learn more about. So you need to find something, a reason why you want to draw. I mean, money, drawing for money and stuff that's not an excuse. That's not a reason. You need to find a reason where you would commit to it. So you have to think long and hard about it. I'd say, Nate, if you're still there. I mean, it's something you have to think about. I mean, that question that I got that so my friend told me, you know, why do you want to draw? It took me two days to figure out a good answer because I didn't know. Because that was a question I couldn't answer straight there on the spot. Because it was a damn good question as well, and I asked that question to all the people I teach, and I tell them have a day or two to think about what it is you want to do, and then come back and talk to me then, and see what it is what's your objective to gain out of drawing. What is it you're trying to gain out of drawing? And you'll be surprised. Because once you know the reason, then you can start working towards, you know, going down that path. And then always thinking about that moment. If you ever get stuck, why, you have to ask yourself that question: why is it you're doing the thing you're doing right now? And that will keep you going. The motivation. I feel that's the same style. I feel the same. I started out with animation. Starting out with the animation drawing, and then I tried 3D drawing. I took some school class. Okay, cool. So you do it for fun. Okay, that's fine. Fun is fine. Just remember that, you know, if you ever lose that, I'll tell you what. Here's something to think about. Well, I've gone past the 3-hour mark now. If you ever feel that you don't feel like drawing anything, or if you don't feel like doing any 3D stuff, or you don't like, you know, if you reach that point where, you know, you're trying to get back into it, if you lose the passion for it, the best way to get it back is think about that moment when you got that burst of energy inside you, where you had an idea and you think, oh, that's amazing, I'm going to draw that, and you draw it. Sometimes when I feel like I'm like feeling a bit like lost in terms of what I want to draw today, I think about that moment where I had that spark, and that spark it varies from people to people. I mean, for me, the spark came when I started drawing with the mouse on my Amiga. Yeah, that was like that's the spark for me. That's when I was drawing toony stuff. I was drawing like Animaniac characters, like, you know, Minerva Mink. I used to draw Minerva Mink a lot. I'm sure a lot of people appreciate that actually, yeah. But like back then, like, I mean, anatomically she wasn't, the ones I drew, she wasn't anatomically correct. She was just toony with circular bosoms. But I think I should try and find them. So I think I've got my Amiga up in the loft somewhere. I should probably try and get it running and so I can export the files out, because you can export out files from the Amiga to PC. So, but yeah, like I think about that period, that moment of that enthusiasm, that drive. It's like, you know, and then every time I think about that moment, I start drawing again, and I feel good about it. You know, like I'm doing something that I'm enjoying. You know. So always, yeah. If there's ever a day you feel you're out of passion or you just don't feel like drawing, just think about that moment when you first started. You got that you had that excitement to draw something. Trust me, it may not work for you straight away, but it's something that's helped me a lot. thinking about that moment, that spark. It's really nice. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, because I know a lot of people that get a bit lost. You know, when they when you run out of passion, you run out of things to draw. You just don't feel like drawing anything, and you're just like deflated. It's difficult. It's a mental battle. It's a mental battle that everyone faces, and I've never, like, I guess you call it a drawing block, isn't it? Most people call it artist block. I've never had an artist block before because I've always got something to draw, which is weird as it sounds. If I'm not feeling the will to draw, I'll draw some wildlife animals because they're fun. So yeah, it's a different problem for different people. But I find that the passion thing is a great way to start. It's a good starting spot for most people. Started drawing with cars and stuff that came out of my own brain, and just started drawing other stuff, and it's like, no, suddenly I've lost it. I've grown out of it, and yeah. Sometimes it's going back to what you enjoyed, or the reason why you enjoyed doing that sort of stuff is a great way to get back on it, because it restarts the interest that you originally had with drawing, right, or with being creative, and that's a great way to start. It's a great way. Take steps back to find out what made you what made you become or do the things you wanted to do. Why? And you'll be surprised, like the interest you find, it's really good. Yeah. Right. It's gone past 3 hours. 3 hours, 8 minutes. I should probably stop here. Wow. 11 people. Wow, that's like another record there for me. 11 cheeky people that stumbled by, and I've obviously got to say thanks again to Blue Spirit for giving me the raid there of 13 people. I think it's 13. Let me just check. What was it? 13? 13 people, yeah. And Admiral Kevin, who also followed me as well. Thank you for that follow as well. Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to end my session here. As you can see, this is how it looks. Oh, Earfolds. Oh, thank you for the follow, Earfolds. Okay, make that Earfolds as well. Thank you, Earfolds as well. Thank you for the follow as well. Potato is on its way to you. So this is how it looks so far. I may do some more tweaks to this outside the stream. I don't know. It depends on what. If I've got some time, I'll do some more tweaks on this. But the body section, I'm okay with it. Might fix a few things here and there. The fire as well. So there's some still things I want to move around and shuffle around a bit. But I think the silhouette of it, the silhouette's fine. I like the silhouette. I like the pose of it. The fire is kind of how I want it. I need to mess around with the rocks as well. Excuse me. I'm going to try and get this all done tomorrow, which is a bit of a tall order. But like I said, I'm going to try and make some tweaks outside the stream if I can. But yeah, I'm going to end this session here. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'm going to switch to my camera, normal camera, so you'll see my mugshot. Here we go. Here we go. So we're going to end the session here finally, 30 minutes later, because we kind of went off on a tangent there. But yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. And so I'm going to just go back to the beginning and go back to the beginning, which I should start doing instead. You should go for it, Nate. Do it. Cool. Right, I'm going to end my session here. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll be back tomorrow, as always, at the same time. So until next time, keep watching the skies, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening, guys, or wherever you are, have a lovely afternoon or evening. I'll see you soon. Whoop. Cheerio. Bye-bye. Whoop.